it so much. The Morning Spring montage is such a sweet music to listen to. But then welcome to Spring Trends on Western Spring Television. My name is Emmanuel Ojadegele, and I'll be bringing you what's trending, who's trending, and what people are saying about the who, the what, and the why. EM Ojadegele is my handle on Twitter. You can tag me to your tweet and mention me on some of the stories you want us to bring on the show. This morning we'll start with Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo, who has been committing so many gaffes recently. Remember that he was the person who uploaded a video of a specimen, electoral practice and tagged it as Labour Party rigging election. He's been committing so many blunders. And now let's look at the latest in the series of blunders. It all began yesterday when this Twitter user called Imran Mohammed tweeted and said that Peter Obi deleted his PDP resignation tweet, but internet always remembers. You can see that tweet. Who has the screenshot? So Imran Mohammed put up this tweet and made this allegation. And then almost immediately, Festus Keyamo quoted that tweet and said, "Are you serious? He deleted it. Oh my God, as deceitful as that. Is this the man that wanted to be president? The new breed? Oh no, this is so cheap and disappointing." I wish he could put up his statement there. You see it now, yes. This is so cheap and disappointing. Those who classified him a con man were not wrong after all. Now we can relate this to the lame denial of the Yes Daddy audio. Now this may have looked so beautifully crafted, but the gist of the matter is that Festus Keyamo failed to do due diligence. If he had done that, he would have discovered that that tweet, as we speak, was still on Peter Obi's handle, and he never, ever deleted that tweet. So you begin to wonder, a lawyer, a senior advocate of Nigeria, doesn't know how to do fact-checking. You begin to wonder how he was able to represent some persons in court. How was he able to do his cases? If you're a lawyer, and at this point in 2023, you know nothing about fact-checking, you know nothing about going to check for yourself if something is true, simply because you want to push an agenda, then there is a big problem. Don't forget that there are so many persons who look up to this minister, this spokesperson of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. Now let's see the reactions of Nigerians to that particular gaffe by Festus Keyamo there. We begin with Peter Obi's winning, who says, "A supposed minister using productive time being paid for from borrowed money and taxpayers' money to generate propaganda, shaking my head." That's Peter Obi's winning there. Otini saying that. And the next person is from Festus Green. Festus Green says, "See sand, Abina san." This Festus Keyamo, now the full circus. That's coming from Festus Green now. Now the full circus. Imagine the damage the man is doing to the legal profession because of stomach infrastructure. That's coming from Festus Green there, bearing the same name with Festus Keyamo. Now the next comment is from Austin Zoggs. Austin Zoggs says, "Dear Festus Keyamo, are you not disturbed that a son of your status is being pranked by a bomb boy on Twitter and you fell for it shamelessly? You couldn't even take time to verify. This is such a big disgrace." Chukwuemere Prince comes next, says, "If you want to know how incompetent Muhammadu Buhari government is, this is just the everyday example. That such a person is a current minister under this administration says a lot. Unemployment figures rising every day, but this is what this minister is doing every day, tweeting rubbish." Iye Korean Tenhang says, 8 hours on the internet without making a fool of yourself is all I ask. Will never happen. Strong words for Festus Keyamo there. Philip Sikeo says, "I ask daily, who gave this man a son? Because with each break of dawn, it becomes glaring that there was a gross mistake somewhere. But we don't know who gave him a son. He earned it according to reports." Now, Momo says, a sitting minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a sitting minister. This is where we are in this country. Umar Sheo. Joan Utako J says, "Just look at what somebody's father is doing to himself. A government official and a sitting minister turns himself to an internet troll. The word shame has no regard anymore. The word shame has no regard anymore. Bodilon says, this man is APC's problem, but they don't know. So unintelligent and can't even verify before tweeting. If I was a Tinubu supporter, I will be ashamed most times when he starts tweeting and cussing people out. And Lolly, baby, Lolly Papa says, this thing is actually embarrassing now. And that's the last comment on that story from Festus Keyamo. We move over to Hadiza Bala Usman, the former leader, the former head of the Nigeria Ports Authority. Now this woman has spilled the beans. She has come out to wash dirty linens in public. In her new book, let's see what she said in her book. Hadiza Bala wrote in her book and says, the immediate former managing director of the Nigerian Ports Authority, Hadiza Bala Usman, has revealed that former Minister of Transport, Rotimi Amechi, ensured she was removed from the position because she did not give him a birthday gift. Usman, who made the revelation in a new book titled Stepping on Toes, My Odyssey at the Nigerian Ports Authority, said that many notable Nigerians met with Amechi in an attempt to resolve the issue between them shortly after she was asked to step aside in May 2021, but all the effort failed. The governor's team met with the minister to discuss a resolution of the matter. He insisted that, now in quote, my management of the NPA had to be investigated due to the amount unremitted to the CRF. He told another person who tried to intervene that I was so selfish and did nothing for the NPA and never even gave him a birthday present. So in Nigeria, they are sacking people because they didn't give birthday presents to ministers. Is this where we are as a people? Is this where we are as a country? Mr. Rotimi Amechi, I have 3 questions for you. Number 1, did you really ensure this woman was sacked because of birthday gift? Number 2, what kind of birthday gift would have calmed your nerves and made you keep her in office? Number 3, so if she was irresponsible in office and she had given you a birthday gift, would you have allowed her to continue in the office? This life. Let's look at the comments of our fellow Nigerians on that story. Exactly what I'm saying. What if she was irresponsible and she was supposed to be sacked and she gave Minister Amechi a birthday gift? Because now she's saying that some amount of money was not remitted to the government. Yes, true. That was true. It was a saga then. But if she had presented a birthday gift to Amechi, would she have continued in office? Would he have covered for her? Or was the birthday gift the only reason she was now sacked for her irresponsibility? Let's look at Civic. Let's start with Civic. Civic says, in summary, Rotimi Amechi cooked up allegations against former NPA boss Hadiza Bala Usman and sent to Buhari, who approved her removal. Lesson, this is what happens when you have a weak and clueless man as how did Buhari come to collect stray bullet Lori or Bala Usman and Amechi? Please, let's leave our baby boy president alone. He's enjoying himself, boo boo baby. By the way, it's been long we heard about Murphy. Murphy is enjoying his life quietly now. Basila Bia comes next. It says, Hadiza Bala Usman attempting to launder her image through that book is peak Nigerian aristocratic shamelessness. The NPA got worse under her, and there are strong allegations of corruption, mass accounting fraud, opacity, and flagrant non-compliance of the PPA during her NPA days. So many allegations. BB says image laundering because they are waiting for her during ministerial screening. Will it be wise to make her a minister if she was sacked for misappropriation of funds? It remains to be seen if she will eventually be given any position as a minister. T. Agbaje says, LOL, family affairs, and that their party is also as corrupt as everything you blamed the party they took over from. A shameful cycle. Onyekuzi says, nobody who had anything to do with Apapa or the Nigerian Ports Authority during our tenure will say she was competent at her job. So I don't care either way about her problems with Amechi. Agabe Diodio says, Madam Hadiza, you never tell us the real story. Tell us if he asked you to leave El Rufai and date him, Or is it the misappropriation of funds under your nose? This birthday story didn't add up to me, please. Shola King Mamadelo says, remember, Amechi has been talking about how he was advised not to speak about some things Nigerians should know. Not saying he's a good man by any stretch, but I'm letting you all see that this info below is likely because he's not ready to play ball with some powers that be. So many things are possible. So many things are possible. Sam Bidemi says, the reason the port is in shambles. She had great ideas for the port, but the hope was cut short. Abungwangwa Max Ugonna says, what about Nigerians? You all deprived good governance. You and Amechi should take several seats at the back row. Ali Mohammed is our next commentator. He says, you are ridiculing yourself. Keeping mute is what will help you. The more they give you a proper search, the more faulty you become. But that's that on Adiza Bala Usman spilling the beans, you know, talking about what transpired between her and former Minister of Transport, Rotimi Amechi. Now let's give you some gbasgbos happening on the political scene, the gbasgbos between Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Ezenwo Wike, and Dino Melaye of the People's Democratic Party in Kogi State. The backstory to this is Dino Melaye supported Atiku's ambition for presidency. Governor Wike was with the G5 that opposed Atiku's presidential aspiration and bid. Now, Dino Melaye is interested in contesting for governorship in Kogi State, and Nyesom Wike had some very strong words, some things to say about Dino Melaye. Let's take Nyesom Wike's first shot that were fired at Dino Melaye.
PDP wants to win the election, and what you will do is to give ticket to Dino Melaye, and you say that tomorrow that you are rigged when you have already started rigging yourself. I mean, if a party, and that's what I say, is this party serious at all? Do they really want to win the election, or they just want to present a candidate? Are we saying that we want to win an election, or we want to have a candidate? There are two things there. There are two things. As a party, you watch the ruling party. What did they do? Where have they picked their candidates? What's their strategy? What are we going to do? You don't just come because, oh, General was the one abusing people on behalf of your party. Therefore, that entitles him to fly the flag of the party in Kogi State.
You see, Nyesom Wike is the kind of person who has no problem dragging anybody. Unfortunately, or fortunately, interestingly, he got into drama with a drama king himself, Mr. Dino Melaye. Remember all of his antics in the past. Now he has replied to Governor Ezenwo Nyesom Wike. Let's listen to Dino Melaye's own response to Wike.
Pretentious is a pretentious character. He's a liar, and he has no integrity, no iota of integrity. Wike was calling me when Atiku Abubakar was to announce his running mates. I have records, and I've printed it out, and I'm waiting for him. He called me 19 times in 2 hours, begging us to convince Atiku Abubakar to make him the vice presidential candidate. So when I see him lying on TV, because of the south of this country, because of southern Nigeria, the thing moves to south, you that were lobbying us and begging us, promising us heaven and earth to convince Atiku Abubakar to make you vice presidential candidate, to the extent that he was at the airport. I have a video. He spent hours in the airport waiting for me to call him to say, Atiku, I picked you as a... He was at the airport here, waiting, calling me. He was calling me, my brother and friend, who is were in the Senate together, was also calling me that day. I have witnesses. I even gave the phone to Abdul Ningi to speak with him. I gave the phone to Senator Zameri to speak with him. He was begging all of us.
I can't wait for this to go. I mean, I want to see the end of it, man. We need to see what's going to happen between Dino. Let me tell you some other things Dino Melaye said. Dino Melaye said he has Wike will be in prison, that they've sewn his prison clothes for him. They've identified his fellow inmate and that is going to tame Wike, is going to tame him and cure him. The battle line has just been drawn according to Nollywood. So now let's take the comment on that story. Emperor Simeone begins the conversation for us this morning. He says, I cannot but agree with Demola Raju that this person fits a profile of a tyrant rather than a Democrat. Talking about Wike now. For those relating G5 with IU, do you now see what's going on outside IU's chairmanship? Is this still about IU? Ayabami says, this man installed an unknown civil servant with zero political or executive experience as governor, but he thinks a legislator with experience in the House of Rep and Senate voted for by the people isn't qualified. I don't have any dog in the fight, in the Kogi race, but this is hilarious. Esteem says, LOL, whatever he says about Dino is correct. Whatever Dino decides to equally say about him will also be correct too. Let them both just fight naked for my entertainment. I have no dog in this fight. That's what so many onlookers are waiting for. I mean, you can already hear Dino Melaye giving out secrets of how Wike called. We expect that so many other secrets will be spilled in the coming days. Good luck, Usaretin says Governor Wike is overreaching his relevance. For the avoidance of doubt, Dino was massively voted in as a senator before. To think that Kogites will hate to vote him as their governor is the height of hubris from Wike. Dino is far better than the puppet he foists on Rivarians. Very interesting comment there. Next comment comes from Mazi Lupin, says, I thank God that I and many people are no longer listening to this man or watching his stupid videos. He has become an enemy of the people and highly irrelevant right now. Lekon Ijebutak says, can this guy keep his mouth closed? Talking about Wike. He's always in the business of PDP state chapters, trying to cause confusion and sow seeds of discord. I don't understand why a River State man is concerned about happenings in Kogi. Adeda says, now Wike call press conference / media chat pass for Nigeria. If not that, he's speaking at his numerous project commissionings. You can fault him for many things, but not for his performance as governor. Now, why did they call him Mr. Project? Talk and do. Political Bonner boy. Now, yes, daddy is next. He says, PDP has a dancer as governor in Osun State. Adeleke collects stray bullet. A 100-meter dash runner in Benue State. Samuel Otam also collecting. And Wike himself is a band leader. So there's nothing stopping Kogi from selecting a clown and a court jester to govern them. This guy just lumped everybody together and gave them lashing. Very good. John Jack says, not a fan of this man, but he spoke well with regards to Dino. That man cannot be governor of our state. How can we go from Ibro, Wanda, Bello, and Dino? Them swear for us, Kogi State is not a circus. And Olauda Equiano is the last commentator. He says, is it Nyesom Wike, a common thug that has what it takes to be a governor? We've seen how he has governed Rivers to a state of pure authoritarianism. Now let's quickly take the last story. Because of time, we'll just run through it for you. You know, we've been talking about police brutality, police beating people, police shooting people. Well, in Rivers State and the one that happened in Kano, the police has arrested them. But also, the citizens must be cautious. There was a video that went viral yesterday. We'll quickly take that video and the comments on the video, but let's take the video first.
What that is so clear. What that is so clear here. No police, no police, no police, no clear.
You can see what happened there. Those guys really attempted to kill. So the tag of that story is unknown youth attempt murder. They want to kill the policeman. Why are you, a policeman is stopping you. They're standing in the middle of the road trying to stop you and you want to hit him. Now, if that policeman had opened fire on the car, he would have been justified because he could have said they were armed robbers who were trying to escape arrest. I mean, reasonable suspicion. Come on. Now, let's look at the comments very quickly. Forza Billion says, it's all fun and games until they shoot you, because why are you running a police checkpoint over when you see them in uniform? It's bad and condemnable. Noel says, a child will be asleep at night and hoping to see his father by morning, and here you are trying to kill the father. Things like this need to be treated with all seriousness. Policemen are human beings, people's loved ones, and should be treated with respect and love. Mighty Mohammed says, I really wish they get arrested through this video and charged for this stupid stunt they pulled for the internet. I assure you that the police, if they want to arrest these persons, they will find them. That's how efficient our policing system is. Adu Adunbari Omoalaja says, as someone whose vehicles has been fired at twice on different occasions, this is a very risky way to live, and I am putting it mildly. Senior man says this is very wrong and must be totally condemned. Whatever issues we might have with our police force cannot justify this kind of reckless and lawless behavior. Mind Affairs says these are killers that the police should truly fish out in margin. Mo Mubarak says if them shoot them now and one casualty was recorded, I'm very sure it will be the other way around on this app. Trending hashtags everywhere. But as the police are not the one at fault, everyone is praising what the guys did. Nobody should praise what these guys did. It's actually really, really bad. CEO Lab in Israel, Cassava Head says, you recorded yourself while committing a crime. Stuff only genius can pull. Big Chi says, this is dangerous because they can fire at the car, which can cause more damage. People no longer trust the Nigerian police to stop when they try to stop them. This is bad. And OC Suave comes last. It says, this shouldn't be encouraged. You are literally playing with your life. That's all on Spring Trends this morning, and of course, Morning Spring, the show. My name is Emmanuel Ujadikili. I'm going to leave you with the video of Nyesom Wike attacking Dino Melaye and Dino Melaye responding to Nyesom Wike, just to set the mood for the incoming buzz that we're going to have in the coming days. I want to see if Wike's tenure will end on the 29th of May. And he will no longer be a governor. I want to see in what capacity he will be making all of those speeches and calling his press conferences. My name is Emmanuel Ujadikili. Follow me on Twitter at Ujadikili. Follow our station on all of our social media handles displaying on your screen right now. And do well to stay on the safe side of the law. Do not get into any squabbles. If the police stops you, stop and reason with them, reasonably. But in the meantime, let's go over to Rivers State and take a listen to Governor Nyesom Wike once again.
PDP wants to win the election, and what you will do is to give ticket to Dino Melaye, and you say that tomorrow that you are rigged when you have already started rigging yourself. I mean, if a party, and that's what I say, is this party serious at all? Do they really want to win the election, or they just want to present a candidate? Are we saying that we want to win the election, or we want to have a candidate? There are two things there. There are two things. As a party, you watch the ruling party. What did they do? Where have they picked their candidates? What is their strategy? What are we going to do? You don't just come because, General was the one abusing people on behalf of your party. Therefore, that entitles him to fly the flag of the party in Kogi State.
He's a pretentious character, he's a liar, and he has no integrity, no iota of integrity. Wike was calling me when Atiku Abubakar was to announce his running mates. I have records and I've printed it out and I'm waiting for him. He called me 19 times in 2 hours, begging us to convince Atiku Abubakar to make him the vice presidential candidate. So when I see him lying on TV, because of the south of this country, because of southern Nigeria, the thing moves to south, you that were lobbying us and begging us, promising us heaven and earth to convince Atiku Abubakar to make you vice presidential candidate, to the extent that he was at the airport. I have a video. He spent hours in the airport waiting for me to call him to say, Atiku, I picked you as a... He was at the airport here, waiting, calling me. He was calling me, my brother and friend, who is were in the Senate together, was also calling me that day. I have witnesses. I even gave the phone to Abdul Ningi to speak with him. I gave the phone to Senator Zameri to speak with him. He was begging all of us.